All right, guys, Marcus and James here inside one of our deals.
If you do have any questions about this property, please give us a call. We'd love to show it to you.
So, hey, everybody. James, Marcus, Kara. This is your first podcast.
It is.
Are they excited? Nervous?
A little nervous.
Why are you nervous, Kara?
Everybody's looking at me.
This is a pretty big... Well, you're the best thing to look at in the room,
Yeah.
that's for sure.
I feel like every time you put something like from a mic, then the conversation changes the dynamic.
The only thing I've got to look at are these two beards every week.
Yeah.
I mean, they are impressive beards.
I thought you were going to grow one.
Who, Kara? Are you talking to Kara?
I could do that.
Yeah, we'll leave that subject alone.
Yeah. But no Shave November's coming up, so
It is.
you might be able to hop on the bandwagon.
Yeah.
The first like 3 weeks is the most like
It's the
itchy.
worst. Yeah, it is.
Once you get past that point, then it's like, but like
There's
it would
always a
take me a while to grow in an impressive beard like you guys have. You guys have been doing it for a
This
while.
will take you like a week and a half.
2 days.
Yeah, I could probably grow it pretty quick.
It's getting used to this under stuff, the undercarriage.
Yeah,
That's
the
problem.
undercarriage is itchy, huh?
Yeah, well, it was. It didn't bother me as much anymore.
I can't even notice it anymore. But I've had this for like 2 years now, so I don't even feel it.
Has it ever been bigger
Josh
than
is
that?
a little more
Oh,
impressive
yeah, it
than
gets bigger.
James.
I get it trimmed about every 3 weeks. So that's
Yours
what-
is like more curly. Mine was just like straight, and then it would start to have like a little, Nike swoosh on it or something.
All right, cool. So we've got a great show lined up today. We've actually been tweaking what we've been doing, and it's going to be an awesome show. So thanks for listening, guys. We really appreciate it.
Yeah. And that's actually why Kara is here, because in this next segment, we're going to talk about real estate agents and licensings and all that sort of thing. And Marcus has a different opinion about, he has I don't know if it's a positive feeling, a negative feeling, that sort of thing about
That's
real estate agents.
It's a feeling.
Yeah, I do have a definite feeling about
Okay.
real estate agents.
So we're going to get to the meat of the issue now. Talk about being a real estate agent. Kara, do you want to,
Great.
how do you like it?
So first, let me say there are pros and cons on the investing side. Okay, so with that being said, James and I are not real estate agents. What we are investors. We just buy and sell properties all day long, every day. Now, I do have a tendency to be a little bit harsh on real estate agents. I will have to
I
say.
agree.
That's why I brought Kara in, because she's actually a really good agent.
I bring balance.
She really does, yeah. There's no gray area typically with me. It's either I love you to death or I just hate your guts.
Glad that you love me.
Noted.
Yeah, good. I'm glad I love you too. But what we have found is a lot of real estate agents, they go take the class, and now that, they take the class, they pass it, and what is it, a 2-week course? It's a 1 week.
Well,
It's
I mean,
1 week.
the course itself, and they do tell you this, is they are there to teach you to pass the test.
Right.
And so once you pass the test, you do need to get plugged into a good broker or someone that can mentor you and teach you about your market.
So what happens is they pass the test, and now they're considered a real estate professional. And, that doesn't necessarily mean that they know anything about the investing side, or, it takes a lot of time, and you have to do a lot of deals to get really good at it. And that's really my biggest beef is, people like that giving advice to other people. What we do is we have marketing go out. People are calling in, and we say, hey, yeah, we'll buy your house, and then we'll go buy it. And we really try to structure deals to help out the person that we're buying it from. We've even bought some inherited properties where we've had to go help them clean it out because it was full of mom and dad stuff, right? And there was so many emotions attached to the house and the contents. Like, they didn't want to throw anything away, and they just didn't know how to do it. So, we always structure deals, and we help people out the best that we can, too. And I know that there's a lot of good agents out there, so I don't want to just beat them up completely. So let's talk about some of the pros. Why would somebody want to become a real estate agent and be on the investment side?
So why would someone want to become a real estate agent and be an investor?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, what are the advantages of being a real estate agent?
Well, I think some of the advantages that I have found in representing our company and being on the other side of it have been, we do have access to speak to agents and brokers and come from the side of, hey, I'm a realtor and we are serious about buying or selling our properties. And sometimes, just like some realtors can have kind of a bad rap, real estate investors can have kind of a bad rap as well.
Absolutely.
And so that gives me the ability to mediate, so to speak, between you buying and representing your case, and then being able to speak to those realtors or brokers and say, hey, these guys really are wanting to buy. I don't necessarily represent you as a buyer's agent or a seller's agent. We have other great agents that do that for us, but I think that does bring credibility, and I think that's the most
So yeah, I
important
think
thing.
that's really important. So credibility on the
Right.
professional side.
And the thing is, a lot of experiences that, whether it be you and James and Josh or other people have, is their experience, their latest experience they have with a professional, whether it be a realtor or any other licensed professional. They are going to base their opinion on that professional off their last experience. So, whether it be on the investment side or the realtor broker side, providing that great experience is going to make their opinion of you going forward the best one.
So why do you feel that realtors think that what they know is kind of trumps what we know or what we're doing?
Donald Trump's.
Donald Trump's.
I think because they've believed that they know the law and they have gone through all of this education, and they continue to go to classes and their continuing education, and so that makes them more experienced. But it's funny because you look at the statistics of how many agents are actually active and doing the deals in the market, and the Kansas City market is huge, and there's a ton of agents, and there's a lot coming on every month. And of all those agents, like, I don't know, it's like less than 50% are even active in the market.
And of the 50% who are doing, how many of those are doing deals? It was even lower, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was
10%
even
of
lower.
that 50.
It was really, really low. So, you look at that number, and I know, I just want to say, I think that to be a really good agent, you need to be doing a lot of deals and being in the market consistently and understanding everything. So, if you come to me and you say, hey, I've got this house I want to list for $400,000, can you go sell it for me? I'm going to say, hey, that's not my niche. My niche is property management and investment deals, because that's what I do every day. And I understand landlord-tenant laws and everything that goes along with that. And I understand how to run numbers and on investment properties, but I'm not going to be a good sales agent for your property. And so that's why we utilize other agents that have stronger selling ability or buying ability in those areas. So, I just think that every agent has their strengths, and that's why you would reach out to those that do.
So let's talk about property management just for a minute.
Okay.
So we get this scenario coming in all the time. We'll take over a portfolio of properties, and the owner will say, "Hey, this, John Smith is the one who manages my properties for me, and he's also my contractor."
Okay.
So we've had that before,
Right.
and that never seems to work out really well, because being a contractor and being a good property manager is two completely different skill sets.
Right. So there's a conflict of interest there right away. I think because you have with our company, we have a separation there in the fact that our property management company does have in-house maintenance. However, our property management side and our finance side is completely separate from our construction and our maintenance side. So the property management side of our company is overseen by the licensing, and we follow the laws and then on the construction side, that's going to be completely different. So when you have John Smith coming in, my first question is, well, is he licensed? So in Missouri, you need to be licensed to manage properties outside of your own. And then also you have to have separate escrow accounts for the security deposits. And, there's several additional laws that have come into play at the end of August here that, I'm familiar with and that I stay in touch with our attorneys with so that we can understand those and make sure that we're keeping up to date with the things that are required of us as a manager.
Yeah, that's a very interesting fact. We've also had taken on other portfolios where the property management company was writing or giving the owner their rent checks, and their rent checks were actually bouncing, right? So the keeping good financials on that is very, very important. Keep it separate escrow accounts and actually having a really good accountant, which we have a fantastic accountant here.
Right.
Is
we utilize
so important.
Right. Not only a good accountant, but good attorneys. We have several attorneys that we use that specialize in different areas of property management. So that is very important to us as well. So, you have the landlord-tenant laws that can go and, we can evict someone, but then on the other hand, we have other areas that we can help represent our owners as well. And so that's really important to us that we can help our owners in whatever areas that they need our services.
So one thing we push for is transparency. You've got to be transparent, and people have to know what's going on inside of your company. So let's talk a minute about the software that we use on the for owners and for tenants, for them to be able to check in, see what's going on with their portfolio, and really see what's going on with their property.
Right. So one thing that we found is that both owners and tenants like to have a place where they can go and just see where their payments are posting, or the latest status of a work order that's been created for a maintenance item or something like that. So we use Propertyware, and that's been a really great tool for us. And every owner has a portal that they can log into, and then a tenant can do the same thing. And at the same time, not every tenant may like to make an online payment or have even a computer that they have access to. So they also can come into our office, and we have really good record keeping, and we can do anything that they need of us right there at the front desk. So it's been really good tool for us. And the thing is one thing that we found is that tenants really like the one-on-one. They like to be able to come in, get to know our staff, our front secretary, front office, and just that one-on-one has made a big difference in collecting rents and our overall ability to have a really low eviction rate and just customer service overall.
Okay, so let's ask the $1 million question here. So we actually got a phone call the other day from a real estate agent that said, "Hey, what you guys are doing by selling these wholesale deals is illegal." Dun dun dun. Right, and so she called Zillow and got us shut down, and it was this big ordeal. Right,
Got our
Right.
Zillow shut down, not us.
yeah, the
Right.
Zillow. Yep. Okay, so let's talk about that for a minute. On the assignment side, can licensed real estate agents do assignments?
Well, on the contracts that we use, they are not assignable, but
What are the KCRR?
right, the KCRER contracts.
Right.
And that's really
I just like
for
saying
the-
RRRRR because I didn't know what the whole thing was.
Right. And that's really for the protection of the seller and the agents. I mean, that we're there to help transact the sale itself. We don't have any interest in purchasing the property. We don't have any vested interest. We're there to help the seller or the buyer understand the transaction itself, and the difference in what wholesaling is on your side is that there's actually a vested interest in purchasing the property. And so that's what makes it assignable.
Well, that and we're not actually selling real estate.
Correct. You're
Either
not
what we're doing is we
selling-
are selling a piece of paper.
Right.
We're selling our interest.
Yep.
Correct.
Now, do the contracts, the KCRR, or
Yeah.
whatever it is, do they actually say it's not assignable?
Right. Yeah.
Because I've heard of people assigning them by just putting
I would
their
have to
name
double
and
check
or
if
assigned.
it's. I would have to double check in the actual verbiage, but my understanding is that that contract, purchase contract itself, is not assignable.
I believe
if I'm
that's
not
on page
mistaken.
87
Right.
of the
It
contract.
might be 93.
It is quite a.
So James and
Really
I
big
have been using
contract.
the exact same contract for years now, and we've bought and sold hundreds and hundreds of houses with a one-page contract.
Right.
It's so
Imagine
simple.
that.
I love it.
Right. The thing is, I mean, you guys have had your contract written and overseen by attorneys separately and, both at the title company and separately from the title company. And, they agree that that is a legal contract both in Missouri and Kansas. So there's nothing that
The thing about contracts is it can be a legal contract
Right.
if you write it up on a napkin.
Right.
And there's a purchase price, a closing date,
Right.
And
signed,
consideration
and
given.
consideration.
Yeah.
Yep.
So the thing is we are, as a licensed realtor and professional, we're working under specific laws, and that's what I just don't think that would be an ethical practice for us, and so that's why we have
To me, it's all about
Specific
with
contracts.
realtors. It's all about disclosure.
right.
too.
It is all about disclosure, and if you have, and that's not saying that you can't have an attorney write up a contract, and if that's something that you want to use and your broker approves it, it's not saying that you can't do that. But it is better to use what has already been approved and drawn up by the real estate KCRER.
By the board of realtors.
KCRR. Okay, cool. So you actually bring a lot to the table, and I'm glad that you're a realtor because our licensing on the property management side is
Right.
ran through her. So to recap, it brings you credibility. Boy, I'm tongue tied today in the professional world. And it gives you the ability to go out and present yourself in a professional manner and say, hey, I am a realtor. And, as far as other realtors go, it's like, oh, okay, so you understand how it works, and you understand how the contracts work, and you understand the code of ethics, which is really big
Right.
on the realtor side, which I think is awesome.
Right.
If we could do something about that on the investor side, because you made a really good point. There is a lot of shady stuff that goes on the investment side.
Right.
And there's something about the real estate industry that just attracts those types of people. I don't know what it is. So it's very important to vet the companies that you decide to work with, vet the real estate agents you decide to work with. And the thing is, like, if they're not doing a lot of deals and very active, especially right now, like the Kansas City market is just incredibly hot, man. Retail flips are on fire right now. The investment side is hot. We are getting phone calls literally from all over the world. I think we just brought on 2 more clients from China that are buying properties from us, which is really cool too.
Right.
So we literally we're global. We've got a global market that we're marketing to.
Worldwide.
Worldwide. I know. I love it. Vet your company
Right.
that you want to work with, and make sure that they're doing lots of deals, and ask lots of questions.
Right.
That's one thing I can say about Kara. She's way better at that than I am.
I'm a little analytical.
Very.
And the thing is realize that not that your realtor or whatever company you're working with is not necessarily your one-stop shop either, because you need to find each company that's the best fit for you and what you're doing. So that's something that, just like I was referring to, the listings that people may have as far as the sales side, just because you have a property that you want to sell here doesn't necessarily mean that that's the same agent or company you want to use to manage your properties. You need to find a company that actually does manage properties, which is what we specialize in. And I think that's an important key factor, because I know that there's a lot of agents that maybe manage 5 or 10 properties, but they're not going to offer you.
That doesn't mean they're good at it.
Right. That's not necessarily going to offer you the full service, all the full services that we have in house here.
Well, awesome. That turned out really well, and I'm surprised Marcus no theory. I think maybe a little respect for their side by the end of it.
Yeah, no, absolutely. The thing is, Kara has paid her dues, and she's not one of those people that just shows up and knows it all. She's actually done hundreds of deals, and she owns a property management company, and she's in it day in and day out. So I have tremendous respect for that.
Right.
And for
I think
her.
a lot of them just get a piece of paper and think they're a professional, but they have no field experience. They just know how to fill a contract out and maybe take something to closing, but have never done enough of them to really understand what's going on. Just what they've been told, you know.
No,